If I was going to bake a cake, what would I have to do? A recipe. Perfect. So let's say I'm baking the cake, and I've got it all ready to pour in the pans. I've got it in a bowl all stirred up and everything. I get it right, and then what you do, you put eggs in and stuff, and you stir it up in a bowl and pour it in pans and bake it. Got the oven preheated, and a buddy of mine calls up and says, "Hey, there's really something fun happening over here. Let's go do it." I'm like, cake, fun. Cake, fun. So what am I going to do? I'm going to stick that cake in the refrigerator. And I'm going to go play golf or ride the bike or, whatever it is. And I'll just bake that cake on Friday. So Friday comes, and I'm like, it's a really pretty day. I should probably mow the grass today. I think I'll bake that cake tomorrow. I'll bake it on Saturday. Okay, so Saturday comes, it's been almost a week since I started the cake. And I put the cake in the oven. You think I'm going to get the cake? I might get brownies or cookies or something, right?
Sure.
Brownies, cookies, maybe hot mold. But I'm not going to really get a cake. So this is kind of the same thing. You may hear me in the open room in here talking to people and say, you're really getting the cake. So the way you get the cake is you follow your recipe. Now, I'm not perfect, but I always recommend a care schedule for people. And that care schedule is very, very important. And the order that we do things is very, very important. We start with adjustments. And then when you start to move better, we usually add stretches and sometimes exercises. When you start to get more flexible and the function starts to return, we add exercises. This is for the corrective care, of course. This isn't just the pain relief care, because that's just kind of in and out. Feel a little better, leave, come back a year later with the same thing. The corrective care, this is how we do it. We have a recipe. And people who follow the recipe typically get the cake. People who don't follow the recipe don't usually get the cake. So if you hear me say you're getting the cake, who's getting the cake? Your cake is baking. You're doing good with the cake. It's a little early, but you got a cake going too. We can get a cake going with you. So that's how you do it. Basically follow the recipe. You know what? It's not perfect. Sometimes I recommend a little bit too much or a little bit too little. There's a woman just the other day, I looked at her x-rays, like, man, these are the best x-rays I've seen in a month. Recommended the shortest care plan I've recommended in since spring. And, I had to tell her that, I made a mistake. You need a little more care than what I recommended. So, I'm not perfect, but the care plans are usually really, really good. And the times where we cut you back, that's amazing how it just fits right in with how you progress with your care. But, so that's how you get the most out of your care in the office. And then, now, how do you take care of yourself at home?
You sit correctly. You sleep correctly.
But what does that mean? What does sleeping correctly mean?
Not on your stomach.
Not on your stomach. Anybody sleep on their stomach? Didn't you sleep on your stomach? No? Anybody sleep on their stomach? Good. Got a bunch of, you do?
Yes.
We got a bunch of stomach sleepers in the practice. Usually their neck is just like.
What do you do when you know you're not supposed to, but you wake up and you're on your stomach? You go, how did that happen? You turn back.
Just roll it back on your side.
So I don't know, but I'll do
as long as you don't do it as a habit, it's okay.
That's kind of
And people who do sleep on their stomach have little ways to get them out of that, but they're not here tonight. I had one young girl that's a stomach sleeper. I was hoping that she'd be here. She missed her appointment. She didn't show up for the class, so she's following the recipe. That's okay. We'll scold her next time. Okay, so sleeping properly is important. Sleeping on your side or on your back. Now, people ask me about pillows. What's the best pillow? The most important thing with a pillow is that you have a comfortable pillow, and it has to be the right size. Size and comfort, it doesn't matter if it's a down pillow, a $100 Tempur-Pedic memory foam pillow, or a $4 pillow from Kmart. It's got to be the right size. When you sleep on your side, you want your head like this. You don't want your head like this, and you don't want your head like that. Because somebody the other day, they're sleeping on 3 pillows and their head's way up like this. Okay, well, we just saved you like, 6 months worth of chiropractic care, a lifetime of neck problems. So you want your pillow, when you lie, you want your head to be pretty level with your shoulder. And if you lie on your back, you don't want your head to be bent forward like this. If you sleep on your back, you kind of need a small pillow. I personally use like a down pillow, and when I lie on my back, it's flattened out. When I sleep on the side, I just scrunch it up together, and it comes up to the right thickness, because I'm like all over the place. So, okay, so people who have neck problems want to be careful about looking down. Okay, you don't want to lie in bed and read like this. You don't lie on the TV, watching TV like this. You don't work on the computer like this. How many people do that? I've been known to do that myself, honestly. This is like, that's the computer posture. I mean, that's what you do to get on the computer, right? But it's really in the long run, and I see young people, even younger than you, that are starting to get hunches in their back from sitting at the computer all the time. And that's just like, I mean, it's good chiropractic job security, but it's not good for you and you to do that. Okay, so we covered neck position, we covered sleeping position, bending and lifting, of course. The most, really probably the most important thing I can tell you about bending and lifting, everybody knows you're supposed to use your legs, right? You don't just bend over. But really the most important thing that I find that I can tell people about bending and lifting is don't twist when you bend and lift. Okay? Let's imagine you got bags of something in the trunk of the car, and you're doing like this, and you're twisting and you're lifting and you're bending with it. That's the hardest thing you can do on your back. And I'll show you why. It's a good way to blow a disc. Anybody ever heard of a spinal disc? Okay. So I'm not going to be, my art skills or beliefs have something to be desired here. But I've been drawing the spines for a while, so I can. So this is like the spine from the back. You can kind of see the same thing here. You've got the little bumps in the back and the sides, and the discs go in here like this. So we're going to pull this disc out. We're going to show a disc like this. The disc is made up. The disc is kind of like a jelly donut. If you look at a disc like this, it has a jelly center. It's actually called the nucleus pulposus, or pulpy center. And surrounded with that, the donut part is X's like this. It's crisscross fibers. So if you bend like that, you're stretching one set of fibers and relaxing another set of fibers. And if you lift and strain that, you're only using half of what you've got to protect that disc. And then what can happen is this jelly center can bulge out like that. And that's not so bad, like that. What happens, when it gets really bad, is when the jelly center does like that. So you got a nerve coming down here like that, and it hits that nerve. You're in pain. That's the kind of thing where you wake up and you can't get out of bed. You start with a little crick in your back, and it just gets worse all day. And the next thing you know, you can't move for a week, and calling the doctor, please give me something so I can get out of bed. So, and then of course the worst scenario is when the jelly spills out. That's really not a chiropractic problem. I don't think I've ever helped anybody. I've had people literally be carried in the office and crawl onto the table who have had this before. I've done everything I can to help them. They don't usually stick around long enough for me to even see if I can help them. They're just like 3 visits and they're off to the surgeon. So, because they're in a lot. It's a lot, especially if it spills out on the spinal cord. If the spinal cord is back here and it spills out and hits the spinal cord, oh man, your legs can just go out from under and you can't feel it. So we want to protect our discs, we want to protect our spine. We've given you a few tips. I do a back care class that we'll keep you posted on, give it in more detail, more handouts and things like that. But I wanted to give you some basic. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, come on. What about babies? Can you adjust babies?
Sure.
You can adjust babies. Babies love to be adjusted. Little kids love to be adjusted. They love it. Especially when they get to pet Sandy first. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. I really wish you all the best with your care. And most all of you are new to the practice. Sometimes we have people that have been coming for a long time come to the class. Sometimes people come to more than one class. But we wish you all the best with your care. And what we're going to do for you, we're going to do a favor for you tonight. Can anybody in here, I want you to raise your hand if you can think of one person that should have been in this class tonight. You got two. There's one. First name only.
Dwayne.
Chuck. Laura. Phyllis.
Okay. Here's what we're going to do for you. Since you spent so much time here, I want you to, we're going to give Samantha those first names. First name only. We're not going to call them, we're not going to email them, we're not going to write them a letter. But what we will do is on one of your next visits, we'll give you a gift certificate for them. And you can give them that gift certificate. It'll be for a complimentary exam. So you can help your friend come in, get the help they need. And it'll be in your name. So it'll be a gift from you. Okay? Well, let's go ahead and get that. Come on up front. We'll get those names real quick for you, so you don't have to go over. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.